Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? It is November 22nd, and this is, of course, your daily financial news. Yes, we do financial news 7 days a week, which means Sunday as well. So, a couple of things before I get into the daily financial news I want to let you know about. I've been preparing some PowerPoints or videos that I haven't had time to get to all week, so I am going to get to them today. So, you can look for the following to be published, I don't know, over the next 4 to 6 hours. First and foremost, I talked about a video about financial freedom. There being a kind of two paths that you need, or two things you need to start right away. Step one is learn your market, understand what good, great, average, bad deals are. That's what my course has been focused on. It's kind of the unique and daily getting better. Part two of that is understanding your money, understanding your household spending, understanding your budget, understanding your actuals. So I've created a presentation on that I've been waiting to get out. That will happen today. Second, I broke down after years of having somebody in my network, right, one of my top 5 friends, kind of push me towards the Bitcoin arena. I did buy a little bit more than a coin already. So I'm going to talk about why that is, why it is very different than 2017. I'm going to talk about why I'm doing it, what it is to me, and if you know anything about this channel, it's not probably what you think it is, or at least not what most people get into Bitcoin for. So I'll talk about that. That will come out today as well. And then one of the things I have been thinking about a lot is, will this, the vaccine news, or maybe when the vaccine's starting to get distributed, does that pivot or change the single family housing market? So I've got an outline, a sketch of what I think. So I want to record that now so I can, see how we did, maybe April, May, June of next year. And of course it's Sunday, so I will share my goal update with you, and you can expect all of those to come out today. Again, why I bought Bitcoin after saying no or hell no for years, what I think about the vaccine, and could it pivot the housing market, the second step or the second thing to get going on financial freedom, and my goals. So that's what I'm doing. So now on to the daily financial news. So first and foremost, I did break down, after many of you suggested I watch it. I did watch the CNBC special on Meet Kevin and his wife, Lauren, I believe. And it was actually pretty well done. The headline, I was not a fan of the headline. It kind of felt too much, hey, look at me, for my taste. Get it, that they probably didn't get to pick the headline. That was some producer at CNBC. But the actual, I don't know, 10, 12-minute video wasn't bad. I mean, I left it inspired. Again, 28 years old. What do they have? I wrote them down. 22 properties, 9 in renovation. So I think he's been on a buying bench. He's got $7 million in trading accounts. And, so again, he's done quite well. He's made $1 million a month twice this year. So he's spending money on assets, not toys, at least not a lot of toys, although he is buying a fancy Tesla, I saw. So again, you got to respect that. One line in the video that I liked is, even early on, they had a budget, and they were each given $200 to do whatever they want with, personal budget. I believe it was Lauren that joked, oh yeah, we've raised it $50. I respect that. Clearly, they could raise it to $2,000 a month and not be a thing. So to see them still stick to that, but of course they take care of their kids, and their kids are in, all of that. So I thought that was pretty impressive. I also thought it was pretty clear that Kevin is really no longer a full-time real estate investor. He's a full-time YouTuber, and why wouldn't you be if you're making $4 or $5 million a year? So good for him. Good for them, actually. And yeah, I'm glad I watched it. I think they're a pretty good couple, and to see his studio is pretty impressive. So I don't know. I'm glad you all recommended it. I'm glad I got over the title. I'm glad I watched it. Thank you for that. Next up, there's really Job losses are coming. I've been talking about the dark winter coming. It's no longer coming, it's here. We saw job losses tick up last Thursday. I'm afraid it will continue next week when it reports on Wednesday. The question, the question is not if, but how big. How much of an impact will the fear of job losses or actual job losses impact Q4, impact the holiday season? And again, for me, the holiday season is just one big tell for how the American consumer is feeling on fear or greed. I'm afraid it's not going to be good. Consumption is going to be down. Savings is going to be up. Incomes will likely be down. So again, the other thing I found after doing some research, here's a question for you. You can take a guess. I'll give you a chance to pause the video so you can leave a comment and see how you did. What percent of American jobs can easily be done from home versus need to be done in person? Right, in person, most people think restaurants, hotels, retail, but there's also, surgeons, things like that. So what percent of jobs can be done from home easily? So I'll give you a second. You can go ahead and leave your comments below, but I'll answer it in 3, 2, 1. At least according to this article, it's only 30%. Now, I live in the Silicon Valley where I'm sure most of the jobs, or at least many of the jobs, can be done from home. But this article proposed that only 30% of the jobs could be done from home easily. Now, some could be done from home, sporadically or for short periods, but only about 30% of the jobs could be done from home. That's a lot less than I expected. So I'm wondering, the other 70% are dramatically impacted by this, if this is true. And yes, there can be gaps and there could be windows of time where, sort of lockdowns happen as we're seeing in California. With a curfew, I'll tell you, it doesn't impact me. I'm never out past 10 anyway, or, out before 5, but wow, that's crazy. So I think it's pretty clear that this lockdown, almost 200,000 cases, 1,500 deaths yesterday, is going to cause the W-shaped recovery, at least from the economy. So we had the down, we had the up. Now Q4, Q1 likely to be the other side. And then I believe Q2, Q3, Q4 of 2021 is that dramatic uptick. So it's out there. We know when it's coming, but we got to get there. And the next, 4.5 months are going to be some pretty dark days. I think one thing that is going to be telling that's right in our immediate future is Thanksgiving, right? How many folks have canceled Thanksgiving plans? How many folks are not doing their traditional, family gatherings? We're already seeing both United and Southwest talk about cancellations of travel. So it's we're going to know this week, right? Thanksgiving, right? Are we doing Thanksgiving over Zoom? Are people still getting together? I think Thanksgiving is going to tell us where the consumer is on the fear versus, whatever the opposite of fear is. I always talk about greed, but that's more of a stock trading thing. So, but I think we're going to see. And I think with the widening case counts, more and more areas, larger states, I think we'll see in about 4 days if a lot of people have canceled plans and they're smaller, which is tough, right? This is a year to give thanks. I mean, 2020 has been rough. So we've got to find a way to give thanks. If it's virtually or over the phone or whatever, we've got to find a way to do something. So it's going to be essential. It's going to be interesting. Did see that the FDA approved the remedy that was given, or the treatment that was given to President Trump. Regeneron is what it's called. And I think that's good. Now, if you are unlucky enough to catch it, and if you're unlucky enough to catch it and be admitted to the hospital for low oxygen, you too can take what was given to President Trump, and it clearly looked like it worked wonders for him. So I thought that's good news, right? We can all take the same medicine that was given to our leader. So that's cool. And then lastly, a lot of IPOs, tech IPOs are lining up. DoorDash, Airbnb, Affirm, Roblox, Wish, all have filed paperwork in the last 8 days, all targeting to go public by the end of the year. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. A lot of them are doing great because of the pandemic, because of the health crisis. So it will be interesting to see where the consumers are, right? Because again, if they're coming out kind of around the 15th of December, we're going to be in some really, really, really dark days. So I wonder if coming out public then when consumers are retreating is going to prove to be a good idea, meaning the stocks pop like Snowflake did 2 months ago. So it is interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if they all hold their plans and all go in the middle of December, because I'm not sure the appetite is going to be great. If we really are kind of suffering through, we're up to 250, 300,000 cases, we're at 2,000 or 2,250 deaths. That's drumbeat might be in the psyche. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be curious to see, right? If going IPO, in mid-December proves to be a good idea or not, or if any of them delay, because maybe there's not the appetite, right? If Airbnb comes out first, do they suck the oxygen from the others, or do some of the little ones go first and then Airbnb sucks the oxygen for the last few? I don't know. I don't know that I would be putting a whole bunch of capital into stocks, but again, or at least IPO stocks in December if I'm nervous about January, February, and March. Just me, but we'll see. So that's what I got for you today. Again, you can look for a couple of videos here sometime today, why I bought Bitcoin, the financial freedom, that second path, and of course my goals update. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. Bye.